All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Prabhupada. The Glories of Ekadashi. Chapter 25. Padmini Ekadasi. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, O Krishna, O Janardana, please describe to me what the name is of the Ekadashi that occurs during the waning moon of the extra leap year month. What is the procedure for observing this Ekadashi, and what merit does one gain by observing it? Lord Krishna replied, O King, the name of this sacred Ekadashi is Padmini Ekadasi. If one strictly observes this Ekadashi, he returns to the abode of Lord Padmanabha. This Ekadashi counteracts all one's sinful reactions. Even Lord Brahma is unable to describe all the results of this Ekadashi. However long ago, Lord Brahma described the glories of Padmini Ekadasi, which awards its followers opulence and liberation, to the great sage Narad. Lord Krishna continued, one should begin to observe this vow on the day of Dashami, or the day before Ekadashi. One should not eat foodstuff cooked by others. He should not eat in a plate made of bell metal. And he should not eat urad dal, chickpeas, spinach, and honey. On the day before Ekadashi, one should eat boiled sunned rice with ghee and rock salt. One should sleep on the floor and observe strict celibacy on the day of Ekadashi. On the day of Ekadashi, one should rise early in the morning, brush his teeth, and take bath. Thereafter, he should worship the Supreme Lord with sandalwood paste, incense, lamp, aguru, camphor, and water. And one should chant the holy names and the glories of the Lord. One should not indulge in useless talks. If one drinks water or milk on the day of Ekadashi, which occurs during the extra leap year month, then his vow is spoiled. One should remain awake at night on Ekadashi and glorify the holy names and qualities of the Supreme Lord. By remaining awake the first 3 hours of the night, one obtains the result of performing an Agni Stoma sacrifice. By remaining awake the first 6 hours of the night, one obtains the result of performing a Vajpaya sacrifice. By remaining awake the first 9 hours of the night, one obtains the result of performing an Ashwamedha sacrifice. And by remaining awake the entire night, one obtains the result of a Rajasuya sacrifice. On the day of Dwadashi, or the day after Ekadashi, one should complete his vow by feeding the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas. A person who observes this Ekadashi in this way certainly attains liberation. Lord Krishna continued, O sinless one, according to your inquiry, I have thus explained the procedure for observing the Padmini Ekadashi. Now please hear about an enchanting story which Pulastya Muni once narrated to Narada Muni. Once Kartaviryarjuna defeated Ravana and put him in the prison house. When Pulastya Muni saw Ravana in this condition, he went to Kartaviryarjuna and requested him to release Ravana. Being requested by the great sage, the king finally released Ravana. Upon hearing about this amazing event, Narad Muni humbly asked Pulastya Muni, O best of sages, since Ravana defeated all the demigods, including Indra, how could Kartaviryarjuna defeat Ravana? Please explain this to me. Pulastya Muni replied, O Narada, in Treta Yuga there was a king named Kritavirya, who took birth in the dynasty of Hayhaya. His capital was Mahishmatipuri. King Kritavirya had 1,000 wives, but he had no suitable son to take over the reign of the kingdom. Although the king worshipped the forefathers, saintly persons, and observed various vows under the guidance of the saintly person, still he was not blessed with a son. So the king decided to undergo austerities. The king entrusted the responsibility of his kingdom to the prime minister and set out to the forest to undergo austerities while wearing a dress made of bark. When he was about to leave his palace, one of his wives, Padmini, the daughter of King Harishchandra, who appeared in the royal family of King Ikshvaku, saw him. When the chaste wife saw her husband going to the forest to perform austerities, she immediately gave up all her ornaments. Then she accompanied her husband to the Mandara mountains. At the summit of Mandara mountain, King Kritavirya and his wife Padmini performed severe austerities for 10,000 years. Upon seeing that her husband's body was becoming thin day by day, the chaste wife thought of a solution. Padmini humbly asked the great chaste Anusuya, the wife of sage Atri, "O chaste lady, my husband has spent 10,000 years in performing austerities, yet he could not please Lord Keshava, who destroys one's miseries. O fortunate one, please tell me about a vow I can follow, so that the Supreme Lord will be pleased, and I will be blessed with a son who will become a powerful king." Being pleased by the prayer of chaste Queen Padmini, Anasuya said, "After every 32 months, an extra leap year month comes. The 2 Ekadashis of this month are known as Padmini and Parama. If you observe this Ekadashi, then very soon the Supreme Lord will be pleased with you and award your desired result." Krishna continued, "According to the instruction of Anasuya, Queen Padmini duly observed this Ekadashi. Then Lord Keshava, riding on the back of Garuda, came before Padmini and ordered her to ask for a benediction. The queen first offered her obeisances to the Lord and offered prayers. Then she requested the Lord to bless them with a son. Then the Lord said, "O gentle lady, I am very pleased with you. There is no month as dear to me as the month of Adhik Mas or leap year month. The Ekadashis of this month are most dear to me. You have properly observed this Ekadashi, therefore I will certainly fulfill the desire of your husband." After speaking in this way to Padmini, the Lord came before the king and said, "O great king, please ask your desired benediction. I've been pleased by your wife, for she observed the sacred vow of Ekadashi." On hearing these words of Vishnu, the king became jubilant and begged the Lord to give him a son who would be very powerful and always victorious. He said, "O Madhusudana, the Lord of the universe, let me have a son who will not be defeated by the demigods, human beings, serpents, or demons." Then Lord granted the king his desired boon and disappeared. Being fully satisfied, the king and his wife left their health and returned to their opulent kingdom. In due course of time, the queen Padmini gave birth to a powerful son who became famous as Kartavirya. There was no other warrior in the 3 worlds as great as him, and the 10-headed Ravana was defeated by him. After narrating this wonderful story, the great sage Pulastya left. Lord Krishna concluded, "O sinless king, I've thus described to you the glories of the Ekadashi which occurs during the waxing moon of the extra leap year month. O best of kings, anyone who will observe this Ekadashi will certainly go to the abode of Lord Hari. According to the statement of Sri Krishna, Maharaj Yudhishthir, his entire family observed this Ekadashi. A person who faithfully observes this Padmini Ekadashi during his life becomes glorious. Even one who hears or reads the glories of this Ekadashi obtains a great amount of piety. Purushottama Mas ki Jai. Hare Krishna.